Welcome to Healing Horizons with Saima. This is a space where science meets soul and nature meets nurture. Today, we are joined by an amazing guest, Dr. Faith Nelson, who is a part of a remarkable mother-daughter duo, together helping people heal from within. And our topic tonight, hormones and whole body health, reveals how these tiny chemical messengers shape everything from mood to metabolism and how balance truly begins from the inside out. So, Dr. Faith Nelson, welcome to my show.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here, honestly. So, Dr. Faith, let's start with, many people think hormones only in terms of puberty or menopause. So, can you share that? How would you describe their broader influence on total body wellness?
Yeah, the hormones actually have a lot to do with your body. When you're stressed, it actually causes an increase in your estrogen, and which also is going to cause there's a whole chart that I show people, but when your estrogen increases, it actually will suppress your progesterone and your thyroid. And so it makes you tired. It can cause you to crave sweets and chocolates. It throws off your menstrual clock, but it also throws off your sleeping clock, or some of just some simple examples. And so your hormones actually play a big role in your life, not just post or in menopause and in puberty. Also, all your hormones go through your liver. So if your liver is struggling, your hormones are going to struggle. Your liver performs over 500 different functions, and hormones are some of them. And so it's actually a big deal your whole life.
That's such an insightful way to put it, Dr. Faith. It really highlights that how interconnected our hormonal systems are with every aspect of health. And I think a lot of listeners will really appreciate that perspective, especially since it goes beyond the usual focus on certain life stages, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So which hormonal imbalances do you see most often in your practice today?
Most often, it's probably estrogen dominance is what we see most commonly, whether that's men or women. We see a lot of estrogen dominance.
Okay. That's remarkable. And that really makes so much sense. Okay. Now you spend decades working with herbal medicine. So can you share that how can herbs naturally support hormonal balance without disrupting the body's own intelligence?
Sure. Naturally, when we go to school, we're taught that herbs should work with your body, never against them. And so we actually work a lot. If someone comes in with hormone issues, we work with cleaning up the liver and getting it functioning well again. We work with balancing estrogen and progesterone because it's important to balance. You don't want to spike one or the other. You want to balance them. And then we also work with balancing adrenal and thyroid for women, and men are a little different, but essentially we work to balance the testosterone and bring down the estrogen because some men can be estrogen dominant. And so we really work with herbs that help to balance these and not to spike one of them or the other.
That's a beautiful explanation. And I love that how you emphasize working with the body rather than, trying to override it. The way you describe herbs as gentle supporters instead of quick fixes really gives it a deeper appreciation for how nature helps restore balance over time. And it's a refreshing reminder, I would say, that true healing often begins alignment and not control.
That is very true. Bringing the body back into alignment is really where true health is.
So, do you believe that herbs can, often replace interventions when used correctly?
Yes, I believe that herbs are great. A lot of pharmaceuticals actually started with herbs. And so when used correctly, I feel like they can be very powerful and can really help anyone. It's just knowing what herbs to use, how your body works together, and what it is you need to be working on. That's really important. A lot of people don't see the hormone cycle that we teach as a whole cycle, because we show people how all of it works together. And our supplements, we also always put in extra support. So essentially, like, we have a supplement for anxiety. Well, when you're anxious, you actually use up a lot of vitamin C. So we make sure we put in extra vitamin C in our anxious list formula. It's just one of those things of knowing how the body works and addressing different parts of the body. So a body as a whole will be able to use those herbs and to be able to to reach its best balanced.
Oh, that's a really balanced perspective, Dr. Faith. And I appreciate that how you highlight the importance of both wisdom and discernment when it comes to using herbs. It's really encouraging to hear that natural approaches can be like so powerful and yet still work in harmony with modern medicine when needed. And your approach, I would say, really underscores that it's not about choosing one over the other, but about finding that what best supports the individual.
Yeah, it is. It's the best way to use herbs,
Yes.
and with good nutrition. Because if your nutrition's bad, that's going to actually cause your body to be harder for the herbs to go to work. So I do also believe in good nutrition.
Fair point. I agree with that. Now, hormonal issues often get, dismissed, especially in women. So why do you think this gap still exists in modern healthcare?
I think it exists because a lot of people don't really understand the hormone cycle. So if your estrogen goes up, it's going to cause your progesterone to go down. Okay. And a lot of people don't understand that. They see them as individuals instead of a whole. They don't look at the body as a whole like we are taught when we go to school. They think that your adrenals and your thyroid don't really have anything to do with the hormone cycle, but they do. If you're stressed, your fight or flight hormones are going to be high, which is your adrenals. It's going to push your estrogen level up, which is actually going to have, it's going to push your progesterone and your thyroid down, which is why you feel tired, worn down, you know? So women, we don't really see, we're maybe tired and worn out. Sorry. We maybe are tired and worn out, but we don't see it as maybe you're stressed, maybe you're not sleeping well. There's usually other things going on that we think are normal. And like we get people in here have acne and they think, oh, well, I'm just in that age to where acne is, a thing. And I'm like, no, it's really not. It actually tells us that your liver is sluggish and that it needs some support. And this happens even in older women, not just young girls going through puberty. And so I don't think most doctors or people are taught to look at the body as a whole and how one thing will affect the next, which affects the next thing. They look at it as pieces, and we look at it as a whole piece.
That's such a powerful perspective. And you have really captured like why so many women feel unseen in their health journeys. And it's really, I would say, disheartening, but also motivating at the same time hearing you talk about, this brings so much clarity to a conversation that's long overdue. And I think a lot of listeners will feel both validated and inspired by what just you shared.
Yes, thank you. I know a lot of people, when I teach it, I direct them to a YouTube channel. They can watch me actually explain it with pictures and things like that. And a lot of people are really impressed because they've never looked at hormones in that way and direction before. And they understand now why they're having the different issues and why they all go together.
So, have you seen awareness improving among patients or practitioners in recent years?
That's an interesting question. We get a lot of people who have been to other doctors or practitioners and they haven't really got any relief. And so then they find us and come to us. Most of the people we see actually feel better, usually within a couple of months. It's not obviously a quick fix. You didn't get sick overnight, and so you can't expect to get well overnight. But most people who do come to us, once they start to get their body cleaned up, they know what's going on, they actually see great improvement. And I don't know. I really, we like helping people here. It's one of the reasons why I went into this career.
Mhm. It's really amazing, Dr. Feed, that people are starting to feel the difference in just a few months. It really shows that how responsive the body can be when, given the right support. And it must be like so rewarding, to witness that transformation and see awareness turning into like real lasting change.
Yeah, that's what I tell people is that if they want to be well and healthy for a while, you have to start from the inside and work out. And that's the change that's going to last.
Hmm. Now, like your partnership with your daughter brings a unique generational lens for sure. So, how do your approaches differ or, complement each other in treating hormonal health?
So, my daughter and I work together. We actually complement each other pretty good. When um when we're working in our storefront, we have different things that we specifically do, and then there's a few crossovers. When it comes to our product line, um, we bounce things off of each other just because people see things differently. So it's good to have someone to be like, this is what I think. What do you think? Or are we missing something here? And so it's really good to have someone who is as knowledgeable as my daughter work with me and be able to go through those steps together.
Mm-hmm. That's really wonderful, I would say. And I love hearing honestly that how your partnership bridges experience and fresh perspective. It sounds like, such a powerful balance. And the way you blend your wisdom with your daughter's insights really shows that how holistic care can evolve with still honoring its roots. And it must be incredibly special, right, to share that mission together.
It is. It is.
So, does that mother daughter synergy also influence how your patients connect with you both?
I would say yes. We have on our website we offer that you can do a free, not a free consultation, but a consultation visit. And usually we both try to be in here with them. And there are some people who, because my daughter's younger than I am, some people who just naturally navigate more towards her. She studies, though she is a naturopathic doctor as well. She studies different things because of her specialties. She studies, she studies out of the Baral and Upledger Institute. So she does visceral and neural, which doesn't have anything to do with our tincture products, but she looks a lot about how the body is working together differently than where I study more Chinese medicine. And so when we come together with someone, usually people navigate or will migrate more towards one of us or the other, which is great. Both of us have similar knowledge, but different expertise as well. And we use those to help our clients, even if they don't come into our brick and mortar store, they can actually call and speak with us over the phone. So
That's really heartwarming to hear. And it sounds like, your patients really feel that sense of warmth and trust coming from both of you, almost like being cared for by family. And that kind of environment, I would say, must make such a difference, like, especially for people dealing with sensitive hormonal issues. Now, like, as we enter this, I'm really curious that do you find that patients respond differently when they can see, like, two generations working side by side, blending tradition with a fresh modern touch?
I think they do. I think a lot of people like that it's a mother daughter team. I think a lot of our clients um, appreciate, like, we usually try, even if it's just over the phone, to find out things about them. So when they call, we usually will ask, about family or children or, different things going on. And so part of that is we want them to feel comfortable with us. It's important that they feel our love for them, because part of the healing journey is feeling love. And so I think as a mother-daughter team, we're able to share that better with other people.
It really speaks to the power of connection and relatability, and in healing, I would say. And like patients must feel so reassured seeing that blend of experience and new energy. It creates a sense of trust and continuity that's hard to find nowadays. It sounds like, like your collaboration brings not just balance to your practice, but also real comfort and confidence for the people you care for. And that's really lovely.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Mhm. Now, for those listening who struggle with mood swings or hormonal confusion, what's one small step they can take today to begin restoring balance?
Well, a lot of times I direct people to our YouTube channel. It's just it's Fiducia Apothecary. And on it actually has videos of us teaching classes on hormones, because I feel like you can't just take one thing to balance your hormones. You really have to work with cleaning your liver, because that is a major part of it. You have to work on balancing your estrogen and your progesterone, and you have to work to balance your thyroid and your adrenals. And then later, we always usually work with your kidneys as well, because all of your fight or flight hormones get dumped down into your kidneys. And so most people need a kidney cleanse as well. So I know that's kind of a lot, especially for people to try to go through and define. So I usually, if your listeners are really interested, I would go to our YouTube page, Fiducia Apothecary, and I would look up our hormone classes, just because they're going to explain everything of what's going on, how they're all linked together. And it is amazing to see. Most people don't teach it the way we teach it. And like I said, it's just because we see the body as a whole, not in pieces.
That's fantastic, and it's really empowering that you've created a space where people can, access reliable practical guidance at their own pace, and having that kind of educational support really helps bridge the gap between awareness and action. Yes. So, are there any particular videos or topics on your channel that you have seen, making the biggest impact for those who are just starting their journey?
Most of them go to a hormone class we did. I think it was in March or April. It's about 45 minutes long, and it goes over female, and it does actually go over male hormones at the end. Most people who go to the channel watch that one just because the explanation of it is very in-depth and very informative.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like, Dr. Faye, that like those videos you're talking about are really, resonating and giving people the tools to take that first step with confidence. And it's really amazing, I would say once more, how education and accessibility can spark real transformation, and the way you're using a platform to guide and encourage people makes such a meaningful difference. It's not just information, I would say it's empowerment.
Yeah, it is. I feel like knowledge is the best thing that I can give people. I obviously sell my own tinctures that my daughter and I make, but I really feel like more important than anything is the knowledge, because you need to be in charge of your own health. Putting it in someone else's hands, I feel like, is wrong and can actually lead you down a path that actually can make you sicker. And so I do a lot of videos just because I feel like knowledge is that important. So,
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. So, how can awareness of daily habits become part of this healing journey?
what are daily habits?
Like daily habits, become part of any healing journey, according to you? Like you can share the daily habits also.
Yeah, we do actually encourage different aspects. Like we do recommend nutritional guidelines. So depending on what people are dealing with, we'll recommend different nutrition. But nutrition is a big deal. If you're eating processed food, I tell people you're not eating food, you're eating chemicals. To go and eat real food. We also work with grounding techniques. Grounding's really a big deal. Where we live, it's starting to get cold, but normally I tell people going outside for 15 minutes a day, walking in the grass barefoot is the best grounding activity you can do. Now, if that's not an option, there are other ones. We also go over breathing techniques because breathing techniques in and of themselves are also another excellent thing anyone can do and apply at their house. Another thing we always go over is affirmations. You have to believe you can be healthy and you have to see what healthy is. So a lot of times I encourage people to write down what health looks like to them because health looks different to everyone else. And once they write it down, it becomes cemented in their minds. And so then when I have them say, hey, I'm healthy every day, then they can actually see what health is. You have to be able to visualize it before you can get to it. And so those are just some things that anyone can work on and do at home. And we find great success with them.
I love that you encourage people, like you said, to affirm their own wellness and speak health into their lives. It's really a powerful mindset shift, and pairing that with grounding and breath work really creates a full circle practice that nurtures like both the body and mind. And it's really beautiful that how you remind people that healing isn't just about fixing what's wrong, but also about reinforcing what's already strong and vibrant within them. And that's really inspiring.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, we want to empower and give them as much knowledge and things that they need to be successful in their health journey.
That's indeed empowering. So, this was really a beautiful and enlightening exchange with you, Dr. Faith Wilson. You reminded us that hormones are not our enemies to control, but allies to understand. So, when we align with our body's natural intelligence, healing flows effortlessly. So, listeners, if this inspired you, take a mindful moment today to tune into your body. It's always speaking. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to yourself, and keep expanding your horizons of healing.